Thank you very much, Peter Tabak. On to Visar Perani from the IFC at the World Bank. Your thoughts, please.
Thank you. Very good to be here and very nice to talk about the topic. Coming from the IFC and more private sector of the World Bank Group, I would like to say that going back to what was said initially by both Prime Ministers and Lord Robertson, etc., the political stability is crucial for any private sector development. I have met in my years in IFC many potential investors from abroad. We always discuss about financial models, projections, you name it, but we end up usually in discussing politics towards the end of the discussion because we cannot really avoid it. So that's why fundamental for us, for the country, for the region, is political stability. Otherwise, we will not see the FDIs which we badly need in the country for the growth. As mentioned by others, numbers are looking good for Kosovo. We have the best numbers in the region in averages, but for sure the convergence to the EU is pretty far. And also we are like maybe 3 decades away from EU countries in the neighborhood. Never mind the most developed countries in Europe. So that's why for sure 4.4 last 10 years or 6 last couple of years, it's a great number, but definitely it will take our decades to achieve where our neighboring countries, EU neighboring countries are. That's why we need really to push even much harder into economic development. One way to do is the regional cooperations by all means, because countries in the Balkans, including Kosovo, are in general small. Our firms are rather small, so it would make very basic common sense to cooperate between the countries or between the companies in order to be stronger together and to enter the EU market in more robust ways. Not that we don't have exports. Kosovo or the region doesn't have export to EU, but for sure we can do much more together, I believe, because scale definitely helps. And then when we have this EU integration in mind, which is our end goal for all of us, I believe that the mindset is there. We are ready to cooperate. We are ready to support each other, and we are ready to undertake the reforms that we need to do in order to achieve this joint goal for joining European Union one beautiful day for all of us. Let me give you some clear examples because I'm coming in from private sector and we want the reforms that we are doing here in the country together with government are really tangible, are practical, and this is what we have been doing as IFC globally, not only in Kosovo, and we are bringing the best experience from all over the world, from more than 100 countries where we operate, and I've said this to many people in the government, to private sector clients, to authorities, that oftentimes I believe countries like Kosovo need more of our experience, our brain, than just money. Money, we can pour money, but if you don't know what to do with it, it's going to be kind of difficult. Money is not a solution to everything. So that's why we try to bring experience to do advisory projects which are definitely in line with the EU rules, EU procedures, EU values, in order to speed up the economic, always focused, of course, in private sector development. One concrete example which I would like to share with you, it was mentioned by my EBRD colleagues about transportation. It's us living and working in Kosovo, the region, we know how the borders looks like and how the obstacles we have for the transportation. The procedures in the past were between few hours, in the best case, and then you could last up to a few days. You have to park your trucks, you have to park your goods in the border for days, you have to do everything manually, paperwork, etc. And of course, they are prone to mistakes on purpose or without purpose, but anyhow, everything is very manual, costly, and our firms which are already small cannot be really competitive with the larger firms in the region, but definitely in EU. So one of the projects we have been doing together with Ministry of Finance is National Single Window, something which exists in Europe for many years, where we have tried to simplify all the procedures for border passing, for transport, for trade. It's called Trade Facilitation Project, the National Single Window. Now it's being handed over to our colleagues from the World Bank, which will continue the implementation. And one beautiful day, in my eyes, I think in say 2-3 years from now, if everything goes smoothly, of the border passing for trade in our country, in the whole region. Sorry, I should have said this. This is a regional project. It's not only a project for Kosovo. The transportation between the countries should look more or less like in European Union, literally. For sure, we're going to have the borders. We are not yet there, but we're going to have maybe checking of documents, etc., but not really checking the goods and these kind of things which we took and cost a lot for the private sector. So this is like something which I'm really proud of. It's being run, and it's a regional project which brings and sends a signal to EU, to Brussels, that we are ready, we are moving along, and we are doing changes, even though we are not in EU, but we are doing changes, and our borders will look in the near future as if they are a EU member. Another thing which is a recent project which has started less than a year ago, again a regional project, has to do with what was said in the past about the greening of economy, about environmental, about sustainable growth, etc. We are talking about FDIs, we're talking about exports to European Union, but we all know that in very few years from now, European Union will start imposing taxes for our exports. So knowing Kosovo has like 90% of energy produced by, by coal, this will be a big issue for our exporters. So what IFC has done regionally with a new project, which has, by the way, financed by EU, by WBF, it's about ecological parks, industrial parks. I mean, the desk assessment which was done by my colleagues have found out that there are like around 300 industrial parks in the Western Balkans, 300. All of them built many, many years ago, decades ago. But none of them, literally none of them, fulfills the conditions to be called ecological. So the new project that we are launching now, we have had meetings with the Pristina city, with the central government. They are very interested to work together to build ecological industrial park that fulfills all the criteria. So before we start building anything and get it ready for the private sector, we have to take care about waste management, water treatment, energy supply, noise, pollution, etc. And then in this way, we try to combine our efforts, our experience, and local needs to create something which is concrete. And then local firms from Kosovo can operate there, can produce and export to EU without any harms and without any tariffs, which are foreseen to be imposed, but also to bring FDIs. FDIs will not come from Germany to invest in Kosovo if they will be producing with energy produced by coal, because they will have huge taxes. So I just took these two examples as what we can do very practically without nice and big words, but practically to help the private sector development in the country. Thanks.